What's good, everybody? It's another day, man. Jump until 30, day 17. I'm blessed to really see another day. I have breath in my lungs. The sun's out. I can't really complain, man. So I just want to say thank you for those who are tuning in and those that listen. I really appreciate it. I'm low-key exhausted, but it's all good. We still here. I asked God to give me extra strength, and He's allowing me to press through right now. And hey, I want to say, once you realize whatever you're doing, and when you realize what you're doing is bigger than you, can't nobody stop you but you. So you never know who's gonna need you to do whatever it is you're doing. You never know who you'll impact. So I know this means something to somebody, because if it didn't, then God wouldn't have me say this at all. But without further ado, you already know what time it is. You know what I got to say. If you end up getting offended by anything I say, go ahead and just look into a mirror, because I promise you I didn't make this video about you. I might be talking about you, but I ain't talking to you. So if you offended, just go look in that mirror, man. But without further ado, you already know what time it is. Let's go ahead and get into that video. Boom. Alright, y'all, so today I want to talk to y'all about something completely different. And this might take you for a loop. I don't know, you might have heard about this and maybe you haven't. But so today I want to actually talk to y'all about Satan, and how deceptive he is, how manipulative he is, and how he's like everybody's enemy. He's God's enemy. He's your enemy if you follow God. He's your enemy if you don't follow God. He's your enemy if you follow him and you're a Satanist. He's still your enemy. Satan's everybody's enemy, and he is supposed to be deceptive and trick people and bring them down into heaven, like he brought down a third of the angels down with him when he descended from heaven. So but yeah, I'm not even going into all of that part right there. But so I just really want to talk about how Satan's just really deceptive, and he's getting people like to this day, to this day, to this day, to this day. All right. So today's scripture is for the day is 2 Corinthians 11:14, and that says, "And no wonder, for Satan himself transforms himself into an angel of light." And so it was really amazing. What I was doing, I was driving one day, and I was talking to God while I was driving, and I was driving by and I saw these flowers, right? And there's a whole bunch of sunflowers, and I keep noticing these flowers. And I was like, oh, like, God, I was like, look at all these flowers. And it was like just like a plethora amount of sunflowers. It was really cool. It was like a field of sunflowers. And he was like, see, look at that. And then he told me that scripture. And that's like Satan. This is exactly what Satan does, y'all. So what he does, like, think about these sunflowers, right? He's done so well to make himself look so beautiful to people, just like he did when he was known as Lucifer up in heaven. That's how he deceived the angels, because he came off as beautiful and being able to manipulate them, and they fell for like his looks. And he does the same thing right now on this earth. So with that scripture, Satan's really, it's saying that how Satan can really make himself look so beautiful, and he just really, when he does that, he deceives us. And the problem is that a lot of people don't read their Bible, and so they don't really know how Satan works. But the thing is, Satan knows how God works, and so that's how he easily deceives us and tricks us. But we don't actually know how our enemy works. And how can you defeat the enemy you know nothing about? So that's kind of like what happened to Adam and Eve in the very beginning, when the serpent tricked Eve. And another word for Satan is serpent. When the serpent tricked Eve into eating from the tree after God had already told them not to. And the thing was, the serpent told her that you'll be more like him. But the thing was that Adam and Eve was already created in God's image, so they was already like God. But the serpent made it seem like, the serpent made it seem like she was going to gain something more. And then not only did he trick her, then she went off and told Adam, and that's how sin was created. But the whole point was Satan was being deceptive. Also, another scripture to coincide with what I'm saying is Hosea 4:6, and that says, "For a lack of knowledge is what destroys my people." And since they reject my knowledge, I will also reject them as priests. And so that was God talking. And so God definitely tries to show us the way. And we literally have the Bible. And since people reject that knowledge, since people don't want to actually open up and read their Bible, this is how Satan deceives us. Because it's really not even him deceiving us. It's really just us not even doing our own part, because now we are depriving ourselves of the weapon that God has given us, which was His Word. Because His Word actually tells us how the enemy moves and how the enemy works. And so just how Adam and Eve was tricked, we are also being tricked in today's time. And so just for one more example to really send this home, and then I'll be done. Hold on, let me stop it right here. So, just to really send this home, to really give you another example. So, if anyone's a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there's a movie called Captain Marvel, and there was these species on there called the Skrulls, right? And the Skrulls were these shape-shifting species, and they can look like any human being as long as they saw them with their own eyes. And so, there's an actor on there named Samuel L. Jackson, and he plays as Nick Fury. And there was a scene where Nick Fury, I believe it was this guy who was his director, and they was in this elevator, and Nick Fury knew Skrulls were on the Earth. And so this guy he was talking to, who he thought was his director, was actually one of the Skrulls in disguise as his director. And this is what Satan does. So Nick Fury was talking to the guy who was supposed to be his director, and he was seeing his mannerisms, and he was paying attention to the words he said. And I believe, if I remember, Nick Fury asked him like a certain question, and the Skrull, who was the director in disguise, had got the question wrong. Alright, so Nick Fury was actually able to decipher that guy who was in disguise as his director was actually one of the Skrulls, which was the enemy they was after. But Nick Fury only was able to actually do that because he had knowledge of who his actual director was, and he actually learned his director's ways. And so that's what I'm trying to nail in y'all's head, is that we have to do our part in our job to actually know how Satan works in his ways. Because if we don't, we'll be deceived, just like Nick Fury could have been deceived in that movie. But since Nick Fury actually knew the director and actually knew about him, that's how he was able to differentiate between the real director and who the Skrull was. And so I really hope that made sense. If I find that clip, I'll put it in the description. No, I don't own the rights to it. I don't know if I have to say that. I'm not trying to get in trouble or nothing. But yeah. So that's all I really want to talk about. Think about those scriptures: Hosea 4:6, 2 Corinthians 11-14. All right, man. Really appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for listening. Love y'all. Y'all stay safe. Be blessed. And you know what it is, man. Peace.